Hi guys, just a quick video on a book called George Eliot, The Last Victorian by Kathryn Hughes. The book was published in 2001 and is just over 400 pages. George Eliot, we know, the great author of Middlemarch and of Silas Marner, Adam Bede, The Lifted Veil, what else? Lots of stuff. Lots of stuff else. Her best book, of course, is Middlemarch, her most famous book. It's an amazing book. Amazing novel, and George Eliot is thrown on a very short list of greatest English novelists of all time. She was contemporary of Charles Dickens, basically, and a bit of a younger contemporary of Charles Dickens. And so alongside Dickens, you'd put Eliot, and you'd put who else? Maybe Henry James, Jane Austen. It'd be a very short list, and George Eliot might be at the top of it. I don't love Dickens, so I don't have a problem with putting her, at least her Middlemarch, above anything Dickens wrote. So, George Eliot, that was her writing name. Her birth name was Maryann Evans, and she lived from 1819 to 1880. This biography is pretty good. I've read some of George Eliot's works, of course, obviously Middlemarch, and I think she's a genius. I think she's amazing. George Eliot also translated David Strauss's famous Life of Jesus. Strauss was a German theologian or historian who really was instrumental in the creation of the modern academic study of Christianity in that sense. And that revealed that she was really way ahead of her time in terms of scholarship, not only as a woman, but in general. And what else did she translate? I think she translated some Spinoza as well. So she was a real genius, and her writing, I mean, you can't get too far into Middlemarch without realizing that this is quite the writer. I don't know. Is she better than Jane Austen? I think so. I think so. No shade on Jane Austen. But Eliot is, I guess, a step above her in a way in terms of intellect. So, about this book. It wasn't the most exciting book in the world, and the fact is, lots of people don't live exciting lives. George Eliot didn't live an exciting life. She was a genius. She was recognized as an amazing author. She had, made some contributions to the world around her at the time. But what can you say? She didn't have an exciting life. Why would she? So, the book is good. I mean, the biography is good in terms as presenting a good overview of her life, and for those who haven't read all her books, it's good as an overview. Like what did she write first? What did she write second? What did she write last? A little bit about her personality. But the thing is, I think Hughes' biography isn't super in revealing her personality. George Eliot, I don't think in this book comes across as a real living entity, so to speak. Maybe George Eliot was that taciturn or boring of a person. I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, maybe she was, but I don't find that a lot of her personality came across in this biography. But I did think it was a good overview of her life and of her works. I just didn't find that. I mean, maybe no fault of Hughes. You can read George Eliot's letters and judge for yourself. They're out there. Many of them have survived. And I think my final word on the value of this biography could only come across if I actually read George Eliot's letters. I suspect, I don't know. Again, it's a good overview of her life in broad brush strokes. But if you want to get to know George Eliot or Maryann Evans as a living human being, I don't find she comes across in this book. So there you go. Is that good? Is it bad? Whatever. It is what it is.